the capital investment, 1.34 trillion rupees allocated for this year. Out of this, I think until mid this month, only 328 billion has been spent or allocated, right? It's less than 25%, and we are almost 9 months of this year is over. So how confident are you that you can spend?
No, we are driving. This is why I disagree with Kusum. I agree that previously governments had numbers in the budget which said 1.3 trillion, 1.1 trillion. If you look at Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe's budget, it also had a high capital expenditure indicated, but eventually there was a de facto capital expenditure cut, right? But this government, this is not a deliberate cut that we are imposing on the government sector, right, on capital expenditure. But because our state infrastructure, our state machinery is so used to capital expenditure cuts, there is a certain, a system that actually delays everything. I mean, I don't want to get into that, but and also because of the election period that we had, unfortunately, which came right after the budget. I think we have
to speak about that. I think the procurement process at least takes something like 6 months, right?
It takes about 3 months.
3 months.
It takes about 3 months, but because the elections started right after the budget, there was a certain delay in that. But the government, especially the president, as the Minister of Finance, has been driving the capital expenditure for the past few months, having discussions with every ministry, following up on every ministry. We want to drive up the numbers. We don't want to cut the numbers. This is not a de facto capital expenditure cut. The government actually wants to drive up the numbers. We want to bring it as high as we can. We are targeting at least 60 to 70% by the end of this year, but we want to do more. We are keeping it at a realistic target, but we want to do more, and we are understanding this to be a barrier in the economic development. This is not something we implemented or we drive towards, which is also why we are hiring government. I have been saying this continuously. We have a bloated government service, which is true. World Bank can identify that, and I would also agree we have a bloated government service, but that doesn't mean that service is efficient and we have all the right people that needs to get the job done, right? The government service is bloated, especially at the lower level and the middle lower level. At the level that you need technical expertise and you actually need to drive these investments and projects, you don't have the number of people that we need, right? So we have been doing recruitments at the local government level, at the central government level also, to strengthen the government services. One, to do development projects, and second, to deliver better services in transport, in health, in education, in all of these areas that Kusum was talking about.
But is there any strategy to kind of streamline this bloated government sector?
It would be a shock.
In future?
It would be, I mean,
in future I'm asking.
No, we want to, even with the CEB, what we are trying to do is reallocate certain labor into productive functions, right? Which is something we want to, even with the government service, that is something that we are actually planning and trying to implement, but there will be some resistance within the government service also to do that, right? And it will be a shock to certain people. I mean, you have to understand the times that we are living in. We are living in times where there is 25% poverty, right? And we are coming out of an economic crisis, so we can't really, push people. It will be austerity if you drive government workers out of jobs. We can't do that, right? We have to, and this is not, I mean, it's very easy to say education doesn't have money, health doesn't have money, transport doesn't have money, true. But this is not a problem that we created within the last year. We took over a treasury which was bankrupt, right? Which had, all these interest payments were actually built into the treasury before we came in. These are not loans that, we are not servicing loans that we took. These are loans that we have been, so.
When you took the power, you knew that it
was. Of course, this is why we are saying.
Inbuilt, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. We knew what we were getting into, and we knew it was extremely tough position. We would have also had, we would have also had it would have been delightful for us also if we had a better economic position in the country, but unfortunately we don't have that. So it is very ideological to say, you can't just please creditors, you also have to. True, I agree. I mean, in my heart and heart, I do agree that you don't have to please creditors, let's just take care of the poor.
She agrees with me.
No, I think we were way before you I have said this,
and
I stick with the position.